The United States has finally completed its withdrawal from Afghanistan, ending America's longest war and closing a chapter in military history likely to be remembered for colossal failures, unfulfilled promises and a frantic final exit, with the Taliban saying that Afghanistan is now a free and sovereign nation, describing the departure of U.S. troops as a historic moment. Shilangatich with his story.
Taliban fighters took charge of Kabul's airport as the last U.S. soldiers flew out of the country today, as celebratory gunfire and fireworks lit up the Kabul night sky. Following the pullout, Taliban fighters were seen exploring Kabul airport and taking over its facilities left behind by the U.S. soldiers. Some fighters were wearing discarded U.S. military uniforms and equipment flanked by guards dressed in Special Forces combat kit, inspecting destroyed U.S. helicopters. The Taliban's so-called Badri 313 Special Forces unit posed for pictures brandishing U.S. rifles and flying the group's white flag. Taliban leaders walked victorious through the airport, led by the Taliban spokesperson Zabihullah Mujahid, who said the Taliban have no doubt that the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan is a free and sovereign nation and promised to protect freedom, independence and Islamic values. Earlier, Marine General Frank McKenzie, head of U.S. Central Command, announced that the last American troops flew out of Kabul just before midnight local time. The U.S. Embassy in Kabul suspended operations today. However, despite the withdrawal of personnel from Kabul, the U.S. government has pledged to continue assisting U.S. citizens and their families in Afghanistan from Doha, Qatar. So far, the U.S. has evacuated about 123,000 civilians, including 6,000 American citizens, in what was its largest non-combatant evacuation in U.S. Army history. The UK's Foreign Secretary says there are still hundreds of UK nationals in Afghanistan days after the country's last evacuation flight left the capital, Kabul. But the government is still hoping to evacuate everyone who is eligible and has been in contact with third countries that could serve as a route to the UK. Japanese Foreign Minister Toshimitsu Motegi says his country has temporarily moved its embassy from Afghanistan to Turkey, but now plans to relocate it to Qatar. At the same time, the Taliban are in talks with Qatar and Turkey about the management of Kabul airport and should secure the airport as soon as possible so that people who want to leave Afghanistan can do so using commercial flights. With its growing investment in Afghanistan, its extensive investments in Pakistan and its geopolitical interest at stake, China is watching very closely the developments in the region following the withdrawal of the U.S. troops from Kabul. Shilangatich, Switch TV.